Hi, I am Shuresh Ghimire, Assistant Extension Educator at University of Connecticut. Today I'm going to talk about potential cultural similarities between indigenous peoples of USA and Nepal. I am native of Nepal and have been working with Native Americans in Connecticut since 2018 on a USDA-funded extension project. I would like to begin by emphasizing that I am not an anthropologist, and the observation and insights shared in this presentation are based on my personal observations. The purpose of this presentation is to spark interest and promote discussion around the rich cultural diversity and potential cross-cultural connections among indigenous peoples, focusing on Nepal and USA. While peopling of the Americas is a debated topic, it is an accepted theory that ancestors of the Native Americans were nomadic hunters of the Northeast Asia who migrated over the Beringia Land Bridge into North America approximately 16,000 years ago during the Ice Age. Cultural similarities help us to connect, even during times when we might feel distinctly separate. While each native community is unique regarding its own distinct culture, language, history, and unique way of life, indigenous people across the world share some common values based on an understanding that their lives are part of nature and cannot be separated from nature. To explore potential cross-cultural connections between the indigenous people of Nepal and USA, I visited indigenous communities in Nepal. For the next few seconds, I will be showing pictures of costume, musical instrument, pottery, and the houses of Nepali tribes that appear similar to those of Native Americans. On the both sides, you can see feathers used as a crown, and also some more similarities in their cultural dresses. These are some musical instruments from the Native Americans and Native Nepali, which look very similar. It's a type of drum made up of animal leather. This is another type of drum that looks very similar for Native Americans and Native Nepali. These are equipment associated with fishing, fish basket trap, and net from USA on the left hand side, and from Nepal on the right hand side. You can see how similar they are. On this picture, this is container made out of woods and straw. They look very similar between Nepal and USA. This is a pot made out of squash plant. They look very similar in both cases. On the left hand side is a typical historical hut used by a Cherokee tribe. On the right hand side is a Nepali traditional house. This shows later more fancy pottery art, and that looks very similar between these two countries. These are collections of musical instruments from two different countries. As you can see, different types of drum, the flute looks very similar between these two cultures. Now let's take a moment to hear music from Nepal and America from their indigenous community. The first one is from Nepal, particularly from Buddhist religion. African. Let's also take a listen to the national anthem of Nepal that covers all the ethnic groups living between Eastern River Mechi and the Western River Mahakali of Nepal. The unity of the various ethnicity is presented by garland of hundreds of flowers. You can also see the various traditional dresses from various indigenous communities in this song. Nepal is a landlocked country spread in approximately 57,000 square miles, which is about the size of Georgia. The country has Himalayas in the north, mountains in the middle, and plains, Tarai, in the south. The elevation ranges from 200 feet in the plain to the top of the world, 29,029 feet. Indigenous people of Nepal live up to 10,000 feet elevation. The government of Nepal has acknowledged 59 tribes as indigenous. 36% of the total population in the country is indigenous. While there is no precise evidence as to which tribe have lived in Nepal for the longest time, it is estimated from the inscriptions that most of the indigenous people have lived there since at least 3,000 years ago. People of Nepal are considered to be very rich in art and culture. Their costumes, food, dances, and prayers show their history, knowledge of ecological system, and their divine faith. But it was found that mass culture has greatly influenced the culture of all the tribes. The ethnic groups of Nepal dance and sing for the worship of deity during festivals. Before starting farming, they perform dances and chants to increase crop productivity. There is a tradition of worshipping and dancing even during cultivating crops. Songs and dances based on farming are very common among the tribes. What you are seeing is a wall painting that shows different traditions of worshipping during crop cultivation and fishing, etc. Tribes in Nepal do not have their own reservation. However, in eastern hills, the number of Rai, Kirat, and Limbu is comparatively more, and Tamang in the central hill and Newar in Kathmandu Valley. Likewise, there is a dense settlement of Magar and Gurung in western hill, and Tharu in western Tarai. All the tribes have migrated and scattered everywhere. This picture on the right shows a temporary settlement of the nomadic tribe of Raute in the far west of Nepal. Normally, the tribe stays only 2 to 3 months in one place unless there is a death, when they will leave immediately the next day after the death. I traveled to some of the oldest settlements to study the traditions of some tribes. There is a place called Sauraha in Chitwan district in central Terai of Nepal. This place is about 100 miles west of the capital Kathmandu, and it is a major tourist place in Nepal. This is the second major settlement of Tharu tribe after the western Terai. One of the major incomes for the Tharu at this place comes from sharing their culture, art with tourists. And you get to do elephant riding, horse wagon riding at this place. Dandi, which is a stick dance, represents the martial art of the Tharu tribe. They are also performed by the female artists. Peacock is native to Nepal, and in the forest they dance by waving their wings. Tharu tribe has created their main dance culture by imitating peacock dance. "50 miles north of Sauraha, there is a model village of Gurung tribe in Lomjung district at about 7,000 feet elevation. This village is called Ghale village. 80 houses of this village are homestay. All the families of this village earn by sharing their culture and tradition to the guests. And the terracing of the land in order to cultivate and produce. This is how they pave their roads and make stone walls. And this is the Ghale village, which is again at 7,000 feet elevation. It is a typical Gurung tribal village. And they do agriculture in a small scale, in home gardening, etc. It is a characteristic of the Gurung to welcome guests when they come. The local people cook food on firewood. They dry the grains above the stove inside the house, as you can see here in this video. They do not rely on drying the grains outdoor because it can rain anytime in their location. However, fire-dried grain is not very good for seed saving, so they dry it outside in mandro, which is a woven bamboo. They produce radishes, greens, potatoes, and make sinki by fermenting them as well. A tribal leader, Lil Bahadur Ghale, shared with us a very interesting experience regarding the initial days of the homestay operation. Let's take a listen that he was saying in 1997 when he collected money from guests at the end of their homestay. His mother returned all the money to the guests, saying that she would not collect money from the guests who came in the evening. Currently, the homestay owners of Gale village do not directly collect money, and there is a committee, and tourists pay to the committee. Through the committee, homestay operators get money indirectly. The houses in Gale village are very short. The reason for this is to avoid the harsh winter and also to avoid or minimize the risk of earthquake. The Gurung tribe dances the tantric dance called Sati Ghatu. This dance starts on Sri Panchami and ends on Boisak Purnima, that would translate to February to May. This dance is very sensitive. During Sati Ghatu dance, people can faint and even die if the specific rituals are not strictly followed. 260 miles west of Gale village is Beringia district. In Western Terai, it's a Tharu village. Let's take a look. This is the area where the Tharu people have lived for thousands of years. We reached Laxmanpur village of Basgari municipality of Beringia district. Plain region of Nepal, including Beringia, had malaria endemic 6-7 decades ago. Only the Tharu tribe of the Nepal could outlive this disease. We met a scholar of Tharu culture, Ekrat Chaudhary. He said that their tribe must have been living in this same place for at least 5,000 years before they could successfully fight malaria. Tharu people build their houses from raw soil, ripe soil, wood and thatch. Such houses are cool in summer and warm in winter. They cover the house with special mud that fends most insect pests. The kitchen is thickly painted with cow dung, which works as a safe pesticide and fends all the insect pests. Tharu people use straw to make carriages like takia and jawa that you'll see in a second to keep and carry goods. This is a specific type of straw made from dried leaves of Walich thistle and Chinese alpine grass. These products made from plants are used in their agriculture and household use. Also, such goods are prepared in small sizes using different colors and exported for decoration and household use in the country and as well as abroad. The government has supported the new generation for training to make such goods. The traditional means of transportation for Tharu farmers was boyalgada, which is animal-driven wagon. Earlier they used to use a wooden wheel, but now they are replaced by rubber wheels. I would like to end this talk by playing a Nepali music that is commonly used in wedding and welcoming honorable guests. Let's take a listen. This concludes my presentation, where I tried to explore potential cross-cultural connections between the indigenous people of Nepal and USA. More studies with indigenous people around the world will help in drawing more definitive conclusions. Thank you for watching.